Okay, so what we're going to start to feel here is after you're done stroking it, and this is going to be an exaggeration, go ahead and grip it. I want you to feel your left shoulder's more in control here. The left shoulder's going to go down, and then it's going to go up. You're not going to sink the arms, you're not going to shrink the arm very much, but you're going to notice that your hands are going to want to, watch my left shoulder in my hand. It's going up because my left shoulder's going up. It's not staying level and pushing. There you go, there you go. But let your shoulders do it. Try not to feel like your hands are flinching, if you will, coming up. You're just going to feel like your left shoulder's doing everything. Oh, really, really good. Oh my gosh, what a great stroke. What a great stroke. That's the acceleration I want through impact. That was perfect. And you did it all with your left hand, left shoulder. That was ideal, Kev. Yeah. It's one of those that gives you kind of goosebumps when you're teaching because you're like, oh, you just nailed it.
If we can do it again.
That's okay. We're going to get it. We're going to get it, but that's important that you just did that actually right there. Good, good. Maybe the rhythm was a slight bit off there. It was a little shorter and then a little quick transition. And it's, you know, it's interesting. I talk about backswings and transitions and downswings, and it's the same thing in the putting. We still want this nice,
the tempo.
beautiful, yeah, tempo, and we want transition to feel like, obviously we're not moving anywhere, but we're here, and we're trying, and I'm going to show you a little drill to get your tempo in a second. But right now,
just like one giant single motion.
well, yes, but we're still going. We have to transition because we're going one direction to another. So there has to be a transition. So that's, but it's how we transition and it's how we make it as rhythmic as possible. And so it's not short and faster. It's not real slow and then slower. Beautiful setup. Good. Really good. Really good. You will also notice the ball's going to travel much faster when we're using our shoulder than our hands. It's going to feel different because you're using what you feel might be less, but your shoulder's creating more speed, right? So the ball's going to come off
just your
the
hands
pace a little bit more faster, and you're going to feel. So when I'm putting, I'm listening and I'm feeling. Right? I'm feeling the strike, but I'm also listening, and you're going to start to hear a sound when you hit it solid. It's distinct. And then when you maybe flip, then the putter's going to have too much loft on it because your putter has 4 to 6 degrees of loft, which a lot of amateurs don't even know that you have loft on your putter. Okay? So we're trying to hit that with whatever loft gets your golf ball to roll. It matches how your strike is into the golf ball. But we have loft on a putter. We don't want to add any more loft because then the ball's going to jump up in the air and then we lose our line and our speed. Okay. So we want to try to feel like as we're hitting it, that putter is going to strike and then slightly go up because the left shoulder isn't going to continue to go low. It's got to go up slightly. Up slightly. And that's where the hands have got to follow that. There you go. But we're not teetering with our spine. It's just our left shoulder. Good. Tell you what, Kev, really good, really good. Okay, so you have that feeling a little better?
I do.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel awkward at all.
Okay, great. So here's how we're gonna, this is one of the best drills we can do for putting, for finding our rhythm, okay? So I have 3 golf balls here. This is pretty much on our track. So ultimately what I'm trying to get you to do, in rhythm, backswing goes to this golf ball, follow through goes to this golf ball. I'm going to start getting you to understand, like if I have a 6-foot putt and the greens are this fast, I'm going back 4 inches and through 4 inches. If it's 40 feet, I might go back a foot and through a foot. But you're going to start to match length on both sides and speed on both sides. So what I mean by that is we never want to go slow and then quick, right? You see how that transition will be really hard to time every time? So when I'm putting, mine's a little faster than some, but my stroke would be, that's how fast I would putt.
So on every putt, we want the same in front and in back?
Yes.
Okay.
That's going to help you with distance control. Because your rhythm, hopefully, will be the same almost every single time. And then we're just working on distance back and through. So now if it's a 40-foot putt, I'm gonna widen a little bit, and I might be there and there, and that's how far my ball is gonna go. Then all of a sudden, I now after reps, I'm not gonna have to think about, oh gosh, how far do I have to hit this? And I don't get caught up in, oh crap, that wasn't far enough back. And then we're just slapping at it, and we have no idea if the ball's even gonna come close. So I want you to go ahead and putt this one, and I always want you to feel your left shoulder doing it. It's just gonna be left shoulder, left shoulder, left shoulder, left shoulder. Or right. I use my right shoulder. I feel like my right shoulder does it all. But that's me. That's how I do it. Okay, so we're gonna work on our tempo. And I might be off here with 4 inches. It might be 2 and 2. It might be 4 and 5 and 5.
Right.
But it's always gonna be equal. Good.
Good. See, I find myself, I'm going way, that's actually a
But
really
that's
good
that
visual.
little release
right.
you like to do.
Yeah,
and I
that
want you to
is.
feel like that's
Right.
that's being negated here on this one. Okay, and again, it's your rhythm, whatever rhythm you feel, and it's going to be your natural rhythm. Okay, so on greens that are running around 12, like these are, 4 and 4 gets you 1, 2, 3, 12 feet.
Oh, I see, that's how you can connect all those.
Okay, so but then again, this is just reps. After a while, I just go, I have here to here, and I'm just putting it. All I'm doing now is just like, where's my start line? I have the speed. I'm confident I have the speed of the putt. Where am I starting it? How's it going to go into the hole? And then I just make the putt. And it goes in sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm not sabotaging myself by hitting it fat or blowing it by 6 feet, which is most incredibly difficult to play well and to feel good about your putting game when you're that inconsistent. Okay?
So generally speaking, when you're reading a green, because I've always been fairly good 15, I mean, and I'll be better now, but I mean, I'm horrible, and I've always been horrible when it comes to a longer putt and there's break left or right. So just like generally speaking, like, is there anything that goes through your mind and like, okay, I want to miss on the high side, or I want to miss on the low side, or
Okay, so one, you want to miss on the low, right? If it's a long, long putt, because if you're because you might not be 100% on speed, you don't want to have a 5-footer downhill again. You'd rather have a 5-footer up the hill, because you want to be as aggressive as you can be when putting. Tentative putting is a very difficult thing to do, because you're almost just like, I just got to get this started and I hope it goes in. So when I'm playing well, I'm trying to understand the green before I hit it onto it. If it's pitched towards me, if I hit it long of that pin, I made a huge mistake. I'm trying to hit something under that pin, so I have an aggressive putt for birdie up into the hole.
Which would be the same principle. If it's a breaking putt, I want to be on the low side. So
Well, so interesting, you never want to miss on the low side, but you want to hit it to where your next putt, if you miss, is substantially easy to make. And it's easier to make an uphill putt than it is a downhill putt.
Right.
Especially, unless it's not severe. I know if it's a 2% slope, well, that's not a big deal. But if it's a 10% slope, or that's too much, it'll keep rolling. But if it's like a 7 or 6% slope and it's fast, you know if you miss this, you're going to have 4 feet coming back. Well, I'd rather have 6 feet going up, miss that, because it's not going to run away from me.
Right.
Then I have a tap in. All right, we're going to read greens in a minute. I want to work on this tempo drill, and then we'll start doing longer putts, and I'll start quizzing you on what you see.
So for practice, I've never had like a good practice. What's a good practice?
This is a
routine?
fantastic practice.
Okay, so at this, then do
It's
different
12
distances
feet,
and just do different. So
15
find
feet.
one hole and okay,
Mhm.
perfect. Okay.
Try at first, do it the flattest, straightest putt you can.
Okay. Work on the setup.
Just work on
this,
setup
then-
and work on your transition and your tempo.
Okay, perfect.
And then you'll start to see, what'll start happening over time is you'll start to make more than you miss. Then we can start moving into, let's find some slopes. Let's start putting down
Okay,
and uphill.
that's a good starting point. Okay.
But always feel like that. And I'll give you the wheel drill as well, which is an exceptional drill to work on as well. Okay? That looks great. Match both sides, both speed, same speed. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna have you putt a handful, and then I'm gonna dictate whether, okay, your tempo's the same or slightly short, so I'm gonna roll those out an inch. So you might be 5 and 5 on this, because this is slightly uphill if you haven't noticed, just a little.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a couple more, maybe 4. And I'm gonna start seeing, because if I can start to see your normal cadence or your normal tempo, then I'm gonna be able to figure out how much more we need. Oh, please. You can't stroke it any better than that. What you just did right there was perfect. And obviously the result showed it. But the tempo and the stroke there were perfect. And you can't see this so much, and maybe you'll be able to see it on video when you're looking at it, how stable your face is through impact right now. Good putt. Now to me, that one might have been a little short and quick. That wasn't the same tempo as the last one. We'll have to go back and look on video, but back from over there, it looked like you maybe cut short and then tried to hit it. But I could be wrong. Like I said, I was on a different angle. I'll stay over here now and watch. No, Brian. Beautiful stroke. That's the rhythm I'm looking for right there.
I think you said it's exactly what I did. It's no different than I do with my swing if I'm not concentrating on it, and I didn't that time. That time I was really conscious there and there.
Okay, good. Excellent.
That's such a good visual to be thinking. 'Cause I don't think I ever did that before. I think I would always come back.
No, you didn't.
I think I would always come back the same distance and then go harder if
Right.
I needed to hit it long. Is that
Right.
normal for?
That is very normal.
Yeah.
Because the thought process for the amateurs is, well, I've either read or over time I figured out the further I go back, the more my putter gets offline. So I'm going to go short and then just rip through it.
That's
It's
exactly
long.
what I did.
No, we've got to feel like we match both sides and the same tempo on both ends.
Even logically, that makes more sense.
Well, I just try to make golf as simple as possible. And this is the easiest way to get your speed control. Okay, that one was a little short and a little quick. So I'm gonna open this just a little. So we'll go we'll say 5 and 5. I could be slightly off, but we'll just, and it's a roundabout, right, Kev? I mean, I don't have a tape measure
Of course,
out here.
right.
And feel your left shoulder doing it. That last one, your hands got involved just a little. Beautiful. Beautiful. That looks like where the face is aimed right there.
Okay.
So, we also, for the beginner and some of the best putters in the world, they use this line. Now, when you set up, I want that line to match the center line of your putter.
See, oddly enough, too, I knew that time, right when I swung, that my head wasn't over the ball, too. I was back,
Okay.
because I was focused on that. And you
Okay.
said if that happens, the tendency is going to be to
Tennessee
go
is,
right.
yep.
So, I gotta get my face back.
Beautiful. Great putt. Did you see how that ball was rolling into her end?
Yep.
Good. Really good. And this is not cheating. Till they take this away from us, I want you to start feeling like, okay, it's a pretty straight putt. It might break slightly, but you're gonna feel like this putt's pretty straight. And if there's ever a doubt, if you don't see break, it's straight. Just play it straight. If you don't see an obvious break, you're just playing, what you're trying to do is maybe guess it's going one way and you never give the hole away. Does that make sense when I say don't give it away?
Yeah,
Okay.
and those are just the simple basic things. See, I gotta take my time on playing, even though the setup is still important here. Cause I can, right, I mean, you still gotta take your time to get, and for me, still gotta get in the good position, gotta get my eye, I mean, all that stuff's gotta happen first.
It's just like our setup with your new grip. When you're
Yeah.
swinging, take that 15 seconds. It's not like you're taking a minute and a half. You're not gonna be dubbed the slow player, right? And some amateurs get over the ball and be like, let's get this over with. And they don't really set up. They just go like this and they're like, and they rip it. Okay, freeze. You can see that this is out to the right and that line's going this way. So when you set this up, you've got to feel like there's an imaginary line going from through the Pro V through your center line.
Gotcha.
You are slightly open and you're gonna start manipulating the face or miss a lot right.
Okay. another advantage of having that done that way.
Yeah, it's almost foolproof, but now you have to trust that line on the top. Beautiful stroke.
It feels really good just that.
Well, no, and now you're starting to really strike it well. And look at your speed control all of a sudden. Well, this is a gimme. Everybody you're playing with right now is like, Kev, pick it up, nice par. Right?
So when you're playing so you'd be marking your ball and you'd come in and you'd actually do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Then you pick a coin up, or don't yet. Then you're gonna stand back here and you're gonna go, yeah, that looks pretty good. Then you come in, pull your coin up, put it in your pocket. Then you're looking at it one more time, then you walk in. Now the issue we have, I don't use a line because the way I'm built, when I look horizontally, that looks perfect. When I get over it vertically, it looks like it's always to the right. And I cannot trust myself. So I have to putt with just white. But that's me, right? When I'm really off though, I will start to do it just for practice. So I can get my start line. But sometimes now it might not be fooling you. You haven't said a word. But for some reason, when I get over the golf ball, I have such a difficult time trusting the line that I have doubt. And if ever you have doubt over the ball, you're in trouble. Yeah, your setup looks so good. That club's going right into your forearm. It's perfect. Beautiful stroke. Good stroke. Good stroke. Here's the other thing I'm noticing. There is a slight volcano. We call it a lumpy donut effect, right? If you go play a golf course, they haven't changed the pins in 2 weeks. When people come up to get their golf ball, they step right here, they pick up the ball. What does that do? That pushes the hole all the way around. So the lumpy donut effect is it comes up and then it rolls away.
Right.
You've noticed a handful of your putts have been perfect on line, and then right at the end they go one way or the other. That's not your fault. What I'm liking is that every putt looks like it has a chance to go in. That's massive. Because if we don't have that, then we have an alignment issue, we have a face issue at impact. So good. So good. Okay, let's start working on what we see when we get to the hole. Okay? Let's say we're going to putt all the way down to that bottom right corner. Okay? So bottom right corner, when you walk up to the green, what's the first thing you notice?
Downhill putt.
Very good. That's exceptional. There's a lot of people that don't realize the first thing you need to, because everything goes off of that. If it's uphill, we're hitting it harder. We're playing less break. If it's downhill, we're playing it softer, and it's more break. So all of a sudden, that's a whole different dynamic, isn't it? If it's flat, it's flat. But if it's downhill and you didn't realize it, you play more break or less break, and now it's going past the hole, low, and off the green. Okay, so first we saw that it was downhill. What's the next thing you're going to notice?
Steeper drop at the end.
Okay. So there is, down at the bottom of about 4 feet off the hole, it's going to drop again. So then walk me through what you're thinking in your brain. There's no wrong answers.
I'm thinking I gotta get it just almost put it to the crest of the hill.
Very good.
And let the rest of it
Very
take
good.
from there.
So that's your end point in your mind. The hole's not the end point. You're going to try to get enough speed down this hill to that little crest, and then you're going to let it just, because if we make this, it's a massive bonus. This is a 1% make from up here. But it could be a 50 to 60% three putt if we're not careful. Right. So there's the opposite.
Right.
Okay? So we know it goes down. Is it break at all? And it's a little more difficult in here because we don't have natural light.
Maybe very slightly right to left.
Okay?
I
Okay?
don't see much.
Okay. Go with your gut. We're just trying to two-putt this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do have to get it into your 2 to 3 foot circle where you feel comfortable you're going to make it. So go ahead. We're gonna try to match.
Everything
length.
stays the same, and I'm gonna do this without those this time, so
Correct.
I might be out to 6 or 7
Very
inches
good,
now, but
very
it's the
good.
same, but.
That's exactly right,
Okay.
that's exactly right. And that's gonna come with time. You're gonna start figuring out, like, this is 10 and 10, this is 4 and 4. Okay, read was pretty good. Read was pretty good. Let's do it again, and let's go 7 and 7, or 8 and 8. And remember what we talked about. If you leave it here or there, boy, you've got another difficult putt, don't you? If we go down to here, that in my mind is super manageable. And if I miss that one, I'm more angry than I am like, oh boy, I hope I can. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does,
Okay.
that'd be the last place to leave it, right? I went way up at the end.
Yeah.
That wasn't even close to being even. See, that's my tendency, I
Okay,
think.
okay. Then let's make our backswing slightly bigger and match both sides. Because you're right, you went back about 8 inches and then you went through 1.5 feet.
Right.
Yeah, and
I
you
felt
also,
it.
the club head past your hands.
Right.
So let's just work on making it bigger and letting that left shoulder just swing.
It's definitely better.
Yeah.
It felt better. So, but my line's off.
Okay, that's okay.
Right. That's okay.
Distance was much better. So we're gonna play this slightly straighter.
Right.
We're not gonna play it so far out to that right shelf there that looks like it kicks it left. Okay, so what I saw there was a short backswing and a real aggressive through.
Same thing again.
Okay,
So these lines.
so just for argument, with your tempo,
Right. Maybe I still need. Yeah. Maybe.
it's okay. We're gonna go what? 9 and 9, 10 and 10, almost a foot maybe. Okay, match it, and let your left shoulder do it. Your hands are kind of locked in, not grip tight, right?
No.
But just like locked in. We're just gonna feel our left shoulder doing it. Back through, beautiful, beautiful.
That's totally different than I did last time.
Oh, what a great stroke. What a great stroke. That's gonna go right to the crest. Ah, missed it by
weird
half
because,
of a
like,
revolution.
even though I'm moving the club so much more, I actually feel like I have a better feel to it.
Good.
Whereas before, when I do the short back,
Uh-huh.
sometimes I felt like I was doing that because if I went back more, you start to lose.
Well, you decel, because the further back, the worst case, and you've read this or seen this, we don't ever want to decel with the putter. And I agree 100%. But the opposite is true too. We don't want to go back short and then feel like our transition's off, our face angle's really weird at impact, and then the ball comes off really, really strange.
That's clearly the tendency.
And your rhythm on that last one, Kev, was beautiful. And you missed your spot by literally 3 inches. Good stroke. Good stroke. Come off the hill. That's right where you're aimed.
I'm still aiming right a little
Yeah,
bit.
just a hair. And that might have been my fault. If you matched that line, and then that was my fault. Okay, so let's do this real quick. While we have this long putt. When we have this long putt, and we know our end goal is that ridge, we want to find an intermediate target. And I want the intermediate target to be something about a putter length no further out. Okay, that's what you're lining this up with. So you have 3 points: ball, intermediate, end. and you're trying to make those match to get the ball to go in the hole. So if we look at this closely, it's tough because we don't have a ton of stuff here, but let's say this is our mark. I want to roll, so you're going to have different colors on the green, right? You're going to have ball marks maybe, old cup. You're going to have,
should pick something out.
yeah, pick something out, but I don't want it any further because once we get out too far, it's harder to aim, right? If I shot a target from 10 feet, I'm going to hit bullseye a lot more times than from 100. So think about your target being
Well, it's almost like bowling where you have little things on the thing, right? Where
perfect. That's an even better analogy. So you're going to line your line up with something in your path going to the hole. And if it's not perfect, maybe it's slightly left of it. Maybe it's slightly right of it. Okay? And now once that's lined up, that's gone. Because that's not our point anymore. Our focus now is speed to the hole.
Makes sense.
But now we have our alignment, and we've really, okay, so you can really start trusting, like, oh, I'm lined up perfectly. My putter's behind the ball, the line looks all solid. Okay, head's over the ball, good. Great putt. Great putt. That putt all day long. That putt's coming right back up the hill. It's about 6-7 inches right there. Okay, let's do the same thing.
Gosh, those other ones that went right, I'm still pulling my head back. I gotta remember to.
Well, are you underneath the ball, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's my tendency when I concentrate. Even when you gave me my swing and there was something new to concentrate on, then I'd sometimes forget about what I was supposed to be doing before.
Right.
So
right.
I just gotta go straight at the beginning. I gotta
Yes.
get the grip, I gotta get my eyes, and then I do that last.
Correct. Correct. And that, yes, that setup is critical.
I'm remembering the grip and the weight easy enough. I'm forgetting the head
Okay.
over the ball. And that time I didn't.
Awesome.
Totally different, because I was way back here before.
Okay.
And I could see where that would go right. That makes all the sense in the world.
Awesome. Okay, did you use your intermediate here?
Yes,
Good.
got it.
Good. So now we know the ball's right where we want it. There you go. And we get our solid line through the ball. Head over, good. Really good stroke. Really good stroke. Now, the only thing I saw there is that when you set up, your putter was still aimed slightly right. So that line didn't match.
Right.
It would have been slightly off going through the white center line of your putter. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So some of the drills you can do is that 12-foot, 15-foot with the balls to find that. You can still do the balls with this one, but I would also find a difficult putt that has undulation and up or down. Mainly, well, both. You know, putt them all down and then putt them all back up.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good.
Right? And then you're not wasting any time either, because all the balls will be down there. Try to make them. Play a little game. I want to 2-putt all these. And then you're going to come back up to a hole that's up on the top of the green.
Oh, that'd help if I put that in the middle.
Okay, good. Right, left, handle forward. Beautiful. Eyes are beautifully over it. There, that's more matched. Good putt. Great putt. Might be a hair strong, but everything's okay.
I love with that.
Oh my, yeah. I take that every time. The only thing that, and this is me, the only thing I'd be a little bit like, I may have read that too far out to the right.
Right.
That would be the only thing I would be disappointed in if I putted that one.
Right.
I'd be like, all right, I read that too far to the right. And I think you're giving this little hill too much credit.
Yeah, when I'm really not even need to
And
be
you're
over
really
there.
not. You're gonna go between these two,
Right.
if anything. So this is more of a maybe it's 4 inches on the right of that cup.
I
maybe.
think you're right, I'm thinking I'm getting, okay.
And that's fine, and we can get fooled that way. And there's some little tiny things that we'll go over, especially when we go out and play. We'll start to look at the golf course too. Is it built on a hill? Is it possible the ball's gonna stay straight and it looks like it should go left? Okay, good. Good, now match that line up behind it. So right now, that line looks like it's going out to the right, just a little. Yep. So let's turn our whole body a little bit and line everything up. There we go. Much better. Okay.
Still feels pretty good though.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to line it up and I'm gonna tweak you just a little bit at the end. Find your intermediate. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
No, go set up behind it like you're gonna stroke it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay. That's close. It's just a hair on the inside and it's possibly just a hair to the right still. And this is just one of those things, this is how your eyes work right now. And we've got to retrain them just a little bit. Because it's interesting, everybody goes through it. What you see is perfectly straight is right here.
I can see that that's to the right.
Correct, but when you look down at it, for some reason, this looks really good to you. Now for me, I can see that that's way right. That would be more dead straight. And then I'm gonna make sure my body's in line with it. And I'm gonna line up. And then I'm good to go. So and I'll give you, I have a mirror, I don't have it with me, but next time when we come in, I'll have a putting mirror and it's gonna really help you line everything up. And they're not expensive, and I encourage you to get one. All right, go ahead and set up again. Okay, so that's much better. However, you moved the face, but you didn't move your body with it.
I felt myself doing that.
Okay.
I was just trying to get
Because
right.
that's like showing the teacher you know what you're doing, but the whole body, now your stroke's going to be completely, won't match your aim. Okay, good. So you might feel like you're a little more open. Oh, that's pretty right there. That's pretty. Match it. Come on. There. Now look at that start line. See how more on that ball, the hole it is now? That's more where you had that putter aimed. The other ones, you notice every time you had your ball set up perfectly, but everything started right. That was more your setup than anything else. It wasn't stroke. Your stroke is great. See how important that was? You're going to feel shut for a little bit. You're going to feel closed.
Like I thought I was pulling that way left.
Did you see how perfect it was? Yep. And you almost made it.
Do you find that over the course of your career that you tend to, like, is there a tendency to always miss one way? Or if I'm off, I'm tending to miss it a certain way?
There is, and it comes down to setup, and it comes down to what your eyes are telling you. And that's why I think the line is such an incredible thing. So like I said, when I'm not stroking my putt on the start line I will use a line for about 2 or 3 hours on the putting green, just so I can get everything back to center, everything back to square. And then I'll start putting with my normal, and I can start, and I see the ball
like
start.
reset.
Yeah, and it's important. It's important to set up, and that's also why alignment sticks when we're practicing are so incredibly important. Because it helps us get back, because it's super easy to all of a sudden just be, and you're aiming over here, you're still, okay, yeah, looks good. And now everything's pulled to get online, and now your swing's all out of whack. But if you had an alignment stick here, that would never happen. You'd always be square. Then you can kind of figure out what's going wrong much faster. And that's why these little aids are so important, these little cues that we have.
Well, and I can see how this is, I've struggled with distance before, but having this, that visual and that tempo, I mean, I can really see how with some practice, that's gonna really help
Oh, yeah.
with.
Yeah, and as much as you like to practice and put the time and effort in, you're gonna see, look, if we can get you from high 30s putts down to low 30s, almost in the 20s sometimes, you're gonna shoot some of your best scores you've ever shot. You don't even know what to do with yourself sometimes.
I would have never, no matter what the putt was, no matter how far it was, I never would have had a putt where I was ever moving the club
Right.
that far.
And
front
if
to
we
back.
played together, I would be almost positive about 70% of the time you're three putting from outside 20 feet. Unless you just guessed right a bunch of times. Because it's hard. But if you have a system and your brain starts to realize, here's my system, here's my setup, my impact position is going to be very similar. Well, now I know how fast the ball's coming off the face. And I can dictate speed. That's why our ball position and our setup is so critical to be the same every single time.
You just gotta take the time to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you do. And look, no one's got a hand in your face. No one's going to tackle you. You know, no one's going to reach first before you throw it. You don't have to hurry.
Much time we got?
We've got about 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Just a couple more?
Yeah. Or what do you want to do? Oh, let me show you the wheel drill.
Yeah, so what I love.
So you have the drill with the 3 balls, and you don't necessarily have to have one in the center. I just do it for the beginner. But you're past that because we didn't have it there. You know to put the 1 ball in the middle of it.
So again, just to review, so that drill is flat green, different distances, different spaces with the balls, concentrating on the technique. Okay,
And
right,
technique,
perfect.
rhythm, and tempo.
Okay.
Right. Okay. And then the long ones, the lag putts, you can still use these for now until you start to get a handle on how hard I need to hit it. But now you're working on downhill putts, left to right breaks, uphill putts, left to right breaks. And then you're going to start to see that your stroke's going to be maybe a little bit bigger on the uphill. Okay. So,
So I'm trying to keep, I'm always keeping the tempo the same and expanding
Correct.
that if I need to.
Correct. Correct. And if it's like a 100-foot putt or 200-foot putt, let's say you're playing some monster green, all we're going to do is widen our stance more because we're going to have a bigger arc. That would be the only caveat.
Is gonna be the
Same principle, but once your normal putting stance is going to be inside your shoulders. And that's going to be able to get your hands just past your right hip and left hip. And that's really all the longer you're ever going to need a putt. But let's say we have you playing some fun golf course out west and the green's literally 200 yards long, right? And you're on the very front and the pin's on the way back. You're going to almost feel like, and one of your buddies is going to say, Kev, looks like you're making a full turn, right? That'll be the same. You're just going to open your stance. So when your arms go back the same distance, it's not really throwing you off.
Right.
Because if we go here and we go here, all of a sudden our body starts to turn. That's what I mean by that. All right, so you're going to take your putter, and you're going to do this tuck. Here, 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 and here. And you are going to go, this is called the wheel drill. You are now going to try to go around this wheel, 5, 6, 20 balls, however many you want to do. Usually I do about this. You're going to try to make them in one pass. And you notice too, you're going to have different breaks. Some are down, some are up. So this is really huge. And if you start making all your 3-footers, Kev, all of a sudden chipping becomes easier. You don't have to feel like, I gotta get this so close or I'm going to bogey or triple.
Yeah, that's my new hole.
Yeah, this is your new circumference that you're comfortable because you know you're about 100% from 3 feet.
Start with a flat hole.
You start wherever you want. Some guys will start with the hardest because if you miss, you got to start over.
Gotcha.
So if you don't get all of them, you got to start over. And trust me, when you get to this point, you got this last one, you're also going to start to feel nerves. You're also going to start to feel like you're going to think differently. And this is critical because you have golf course, you'll be playing and you're going to be like, this is going to be my best round ever. Holy crap. And you're not thinking about putting, you're thinking about your final score. And this one goes, 6 feet by, now you 3-putted, now you didn't beat your record. You know what I mean? So this is also a great drill because you're going to challenge yourself here. All right, go for it.
The wheel drill.
Yep, that's called the wheel drill. That's what I call it. I'm sure there's other names for it. But your setup's the same, and you can even take your time and put your ball down and put the line if you need to. Okay. Now you bring that one back. You bring that one about a putter length out. And if you find the 3-footers are hard, Kev, start at 2. Start at 1. And just get a handle on how that ball's supposed to be going. See? See how short that stroke was? Good.
The other time
Good.
it was all hands, and as soon as
Yeah,
I did it,
yeah.
I knew it.
Excellent. I mean, this putt here, this one down the hill is probably an inch and a half to an inch and a half. I mean, all you gotta do is kind of get this ball just going end over end, and it's gonna go in the hole. Beautiful setup. Gorgeous. That's it. That's how simple that little putt is. And we can make it difficult by getting 5 feet and then slowing down through the ball, and then the ball just peels off right, or you pull it. You can do so many things. Add loft, de-loft. Okay, now that was right where you're aimed. Now you can start there if you want. Okay, so on these little putts too, unless there's a severe break, we are never giving the hole away. So right now, when you're aimed right there, you're aimed slightly left. So if you hit that perfectly straight, it's going here, and it's missing the hole. So if you think this is breaking this way, on these little three footers, you're never giving the hole away. So your aim point would be what we call left edge, right? Or left center. Left edge, left center, center. Right edge, right center, right edge. Outside right, outside left. That's what you'll hear on TV, or that's what you might hear when you're playing. So be careful, because right now you tend to close you're a little bit closed, you're aiming a little bit left, and I don't want you to start to learn how to push it on the line. I want you to get set up correctly. So let's do that again. So really, what I'm trying to say is these putts, if you have the right speed, are almost all dead straight in. So we're not giving the hole away.
I feel it goes that way too. My hands all over that one.
Okay. That's right, we are aimed again. So sometimes what I would do with an amateur too, I would come in, and I would, before I take my stance, I'd be like, so that would be left, and then if I took my stance, I mean, that's left, right? I'm exaggerating for your purpose. So I might come in and I might go here, but that looks dead straight. Then I'm gonna get my feet parallel to my line, and then I'm just gonna put it right in the hole. Well, that was rude. But that's just another way, because when you set up and you tend to set up closed, now everything looks parallel, but sadly you're just slightly to the left of it. And you made a great stroke, but guess what? It's right where you aimed. So just try that. All right. Try both hands, put the face down where you think that ball should start. And then you're gonna take your stance. Beautiful. Gorgeous. It might be an extra step for now, and then after a while, it just becomes natural. Beautiful. That's in. Cool. Okay, that tempo was just a little jabby. That was back, and then real quick through.
It's good practice, though.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, I don't know, you gotta get going.
What time we got?
146. I'll go some more, I'm fine.
As long as I'm on the road in a couple minutes.
Okay.
5 to 10 minutes.
Well then, let's put a little pressure on you, you gotta make these, let's go. Can't leave until you make them. Sorry, honey. Coach is keeping me hostage. So face first, and then you're gonna get your feet, shoulders, and hips all in line with it. Now this is a hair left of the target right now. That's better. Now move your body with it. There, beautiful. Good stroke. That's right where you're aiming. You're aimed on that left side and you snuck it in there. Okay, putter first. Remember, all these putts are pretty straight. So we're not gonna try to play any breaks. So you're aiming right back here at the back of this cup. So right now you're aimed just on that left edge. There you go. That's better. It's still a hair on the left side of the cup. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful stroke. And look, the more you do this, the more your brain starts to understand what actually is where this putter's putting.
I know, I was just thinking that in my mind, was that?
Yep. That looks great. Good tempo. Good. Beautiful. Perfect. Awesome. Great little speed into that cup. Okay, here we go. Either you're on the road or we're going around again. Make this a little difficult for you. Make you think about other things. You're gonna be late for your meeting, or are you gonna be able to make it? Good job.
So is it possible that, is it possible, like, so like in my brain, if I find myself always, is it possible in your brain that you might have to say, okay, I have to know that what's looking straight to me is not really straight, and I need to just, okay,
And
so
then
that's
you
just
gotta
part
retrain.
of just knowing yourself.
It's
and
interesting.
knowing-
You could be, like if you were a carpenter, you could make everything just slightly unsquare thinking it's square. Until you figure out you put that square in there and you're like, oh crap, I'm an inch off. And it's just over time you start to learn, that's not square. Oh, that's perfectly on my line. And I will, like I said, I'll get you a mirror that has, and you can practice at home with the mirror. And then on the green,
So what does the putting mirror do?
the putting mirror is you're gonna be able to see your eyes over the golf ball over it. And then you're gonna have a whole bunch of lines where you're gonna really be able to see that putter exactly square when
Oh, I
you
see,
set
I
up.
see. Okay.
And then you just do that. You do reps after rep after rep, and all of a sudden, when you have nothing there, that just looks like it's supposed to. And there's none of this stuff.
Is it something you can buy online?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go on go Dick's, go.
It's just called a
Golf
putting
Galaxy.
mirror?
Yeah. Just type in putting mirror.
Okay.
And you're gonna see it. It's a rectangle, and it's got like a little slot in it where the balls sit that you're putting, so it rolls out of that little U type of spot, and then the rest is all a mirror with lines and different types of holes in it, so you can put T's in it to keep it steady, and also use T's as a gate drill, and I'll show you that when we're out on the green.
So if I had, with where I am right now, if I had an hour a day that I was committing to practice, what should I be working on? Still time with the bag, obviously.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I don't wanna
you're
get-
gonna go through the bag like we talked earlier. That sand wedge is perfect after 5, and I might just do evens that day. I might do sand wedge, 8-iron, 6-iron, right?
Just making sure that you haven't lost anything, because that's
Yeah.
my biggest fear, is like I want,
Oh, no,
repetition.
you're 100% right.
Right.
There's a lot of upkeep in
I've
this.
never
game.
had my swing as good as it is now.
Right, and so we
It's like a-
want to try to hang on to that the best we can. And if you start to see some type of thing, then we'll spend extra time hitting balls,
Gotcha.
figuring out, and then we can start to go back and like, well, this is your tendency. When you start to see the ball do this, this is where we're starting to get to, and we've got to catch that before it gets too bad.
Right.
I do the same thing. I have my own tendencies. I get the club too far inside, and then I get back underneath, and I hit everything kind of soft to the right. Well, I got to figure out I got to take that club back more, and I feel like I'm swinging left more. And then all of a sudden the ball starts to really come off the face and go where I'm looking. But if I'm not paying attention, it just slowly gets into that little area. So the upkeep is incredibly important. If you don't have a place, well, you have this, you have this to practice, but even at home with the putter, you can just putt on your linoleum floor, on a nice piece of carpet.
Right.
You can just work on
Yeah,
stroke,
that
stance, and
that
setup.
flat drill I can do all day long.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah,
And work on
absolutely.
the tempo and the, that's
Yep.
awesome. Alright.